Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is BestInSlot, and tonight we're going to do a little bit of speculation. We're going to talk about the top 5 dinosaurs I would love to see in the upcoming Jurassic World 2 film. This is my personal top 5 dinosaurs that I think would fit perfectly into the new sort of dark atmosphere we know that the second film is going to have. All dinosaurs that have featured in Jurassic Park franchise history in some way or another, but ones that haven't been seen on film quite yet. First up, we have Majungasaurus, a Nabelosaurid from the late Cretaceous period. I said in other videos how the series could benefit from a new theropod smaller than the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Indominus and Spinosaurus, especially now, given we know we're in for a darker style of film, with assumedly some more claustrophobic environments, ones that are going to be a little bit small and dark for such large rampaging dinosaurs. We need something smaller to threaten our protagonists. Well, Majungasaurus is perfect for this. Not only does it have a rather unsettling low posture, kind of like a torpedo filled with teeth, but most importantly, this is one of the few theropods, particularly those of the non-feathered variety, to have confirmed cannibalistic tendencies. And I think if you're making a horror film, it's a pretty good idea to throw some cannibals in there, right? What could go wrong? It'd be nice to introduce audiences to a dinosaur most of them won't have heard of before, but any scene where they find a Majungasaurus tearing apart its own species is bound to sort of up the spooky factor of the film. And I love the idea of them turning the corner, finding this theropod maybe that's been stalking them for the entire film, getting torn apart by its bigger brother or something. That's an awesome sounding scene. For number 2 on my list, I'm going to cheat just a little bit, and it's going to be a Helicoprion, which clearly isn't a dinosaur, but it's actually a prehistoric shark-like fish. Its name means spiral saw, and when you see this image, it's pretty easy to understand why. It's a freaky looking little thing. Helicoprion's entire bottom jaw unfurled into a wall, not a whirl, I had to get that right a few times, into a wall of razor sharp teeth that it probably used to actually hunt smaller and soft prey. It wouldn't be hunting big things with this. And now, because of that, whilst the Helicoprion probably wouldn't be actively hunting our protagonists in Jurassic World 2, what it does do is set up the underwater environment as an alien and bizarre place that they won't be able to understand. That's freaking them out. Kind of like when people go deep sea dive, well, not diving, people send probes deep sea these days and we find all these bizarre new creatures that just look completely alien to us. Helicoprion would kind of have the same effect. Now, we already know there's likely to be a Mosasaurus submarine scene in Jurassic World 2, but in setting the scene for that to take place, I'd love to see some Helicoprions swimming around, looking terrifying, frightening the people who are sort of pressing their face up against the glass to watch these Helicoprions, and suddenly the Mosasaurus shows up and takes one out in one go. I think it'd be an awesome creature. Again, a lot of these, it's things I want people to be introduced to that they maybe haven't seen before. People who, unlike us, probably aren't that versed with prehistoric creatures in general. Number 3, a dinosaur I've already talked about in a previous video, but it's so perfect for the franchise I couldn't not bring it up. Carnotaurus has been in the Jurassic Park franchise before, specifically in the second book where its genetic makeup allowed it to blend into the background. It had, I believe, cuttlefish or chameleon DNA, I can't quite remember off the top of my head. It blended into the background and became invisible. It had a small part in the Lost World Jurassic Park novel. Now, in a film we know is going to be darker and scarier than the previous. We've already had several people from the film say just that, and the director, J.A. Bayona, is particularly known for quite a dark style. The idea of a theropod that can rip a human in half, yet also stalk unseen through the shadows, is a pretty perfect fit. And if you want to hear more thoughts specifically on the Carnotaurus, I will link a video down below where we talk about the Carnotaurus specifically for a good 5 minutes or so. Another dinosaur from Jurassic Park franchise history that you wouldn't be aware of just from the films, this time from the much maligned Telltale game, Troodon is a small theropod dinosaur from the late Cretaceous that in the Jurassic Park game was embellished with glow-in-the-dark eyes and a poisonous bite, 2 horror film absolute staples. We've all seen scenes where our protagonists are wandering around the forest in the darkness, when suddenly it lights up around them with tiny gleaming eyes. Couple that with a hallucinogenic bite that causes people to turn on each other, and it's basically the setup for the Thing in dinosaur form. Even without the Jurassic Park embellishments from the game, Troodon is a pretty scary little dinosaur anyway. It's got these massive round eyes that made it perfect for hunting at night time, and an intelligence. It had a very large brain. It has an intelligence unmatched by the majority of other dinosaurs. In the game, one of the scientists specifically says the Troodon was about as smart as the raptor. So in Jurassic Park franchise history, that's about the level we'd be talking at. But another reason I'd love to see them is that other than the Compsognathus in the second film and the third film for a brief period, we haven't really had a small dinosaur be a threat to our protagonists. Dimorphodon, obviously not a dinosaur, but was kind of there in the Jurassic World film. But it'd be nice to have a swarming, kind of like a pack hunting dinosaur that can hunt down our people. It'd be a really nice change. And considering the Troodon is basically a scarier version of the Compsognathus, I think it would be a perfect fit for this horror-based second Jurassic World film. And for our final dinosaur, finally we have a herbivore. It's about time. Therizinosaurus is one of my all-time favourite dinosaurs, and this is absolutely the perfect film to introduce it to the franchise. I mean, look at the thing. It's perfect! Therizinosaurus means scythe lizard, which, whilst being a badass name anyway, is a reference to the huge scythe-like claws on its forearms, which are actually the largest claws discovered on any animal ever. Never mind prehistoric or living or blah blah blah. Any animal ever, Therizinosaurus, the largest claws ever discovered. Towering over humans, this theropod would probably be the scariest looking dinosaur in the entire film. Our protagonists exploring a dark, abandoned lab. They find these huge cuts in the walls where the Therizinosaurus has been these grooves, like scratched in, build up the suspense, build up the horror, because the thing is, the vast majority of audience members are going to have no idea what a Therizinosaurus is, building up suspense in a way until they round the corner onto this gigantic, feathered, hopefully, claw-bearing beast. These huge claws, all they'd see catching, gleaming in the light is the outline of this basically Wolverine-esque creature. Then it's a herbivore. What a twist! It's about time we had a cool new herbivore in the series, one that manages to be unique, unknown to lots of people, and yet maintain the scary aesthetic of the film. Anyways, that is about it for my list. There's loads of dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures that didn't quite make it on here. There's stuff I'd love to see, like Titanoboas and Megatheriums. I'd love to see a Megatherium. And plenty of other dinosaurs as well. Some more ceratopsids, like a Styracosaurus, would be pretty cool. But more importantly, let me know in the comments down below what your personal top 5 would be, and I'll see you lovely folks in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe for more gaming... Don't forget to subscribe for more dinosaur content, both gaming and otherwise, like this video right here. Cheers, much love, as always. Bye-bye.